week we're going to continue our work linked to Judaism, and we're going to talk about what kosher means. Jewish food and drink laws are known as kashrut laws, and Jews believe that these rules are a test of obedience and self-control. Kosher means fit to eat. Jewish people only consume kosher food and drink. The Torah, the Jewish holy book we talked about last week, indicates to Jews which foods are not permitted. We call these treifa foods. For meat to be kosher, there are two things that are very important. The first thing is that the animal must have a split hoof or a cloven hoof. Pigs do not have this, so pigs are not kosher. The other criteria is that the animal must chew the cud. This means that they chew food that has already been partly digested. Animals which do this include cattle, deer, antelope, sheep and goats. Both of these criteria must be met for an animal to be kosher. Many birds, such as turkey, geese, duck and chicken, are kosher. However, birds of prey are not. So an eagle is not kosher. Fish that have scales and fins are kosher. Shellfish, mollusks and eels are not kosher. It's not just about finding an animal which is kosher that determines whether or not it can be eaten. An animal must also be killed in a kosher way for it to be kosher meat. There are rules about how the animal is killed. When it is killed, the animal must not suffer. Equally, the animal must be healthy before it is killed. All foods are carefully inspected to determine whether or not they are kosher. If packaged food is kosher, it is usually shown with a symbol. This is an example of a kosher food symbol. Can you spot the kosher food symbol on any of the packaging? Try having a look at some of the packaging in your house. Can you spot the kosher food symbol? Dairy is a type of food produced from or containing milk. Another important Jewish rule is that Jews must not consume meat and dairy at the same time. For example, a meaty pizza cannot be eaten because it would have meat and cheese on it, and meat and cheese cannot be eaten at the same time. After eating meat, at least 6 hours must pass before consuming dairy. Food and drink which does not contain meat or dairy, such as salad and fresh orange juice, is called parav. This can be eaten with either a dairy or meat meal. Match these words and pictures. Talk to someone near you and record your answers on a whiteboard. Did you match them correctly? Well done. You might think that vegetarian or vegan food would be kosher, but there are further rules to be followed for food to be considered kosher. Fruits and vegetables have to be thoroughly cleaned to make sure they are completely free of insects. Also, the kitchen and the way the food is prepared is also very important for food to be kosher. Only kosher food can be brought into the kitchen. Certain foods must be cooked or baked in order to be kosher. Separate kitchen equipment must be used for meat, dairy and drink. These include surface utensils, pans, crockery and table equipment. Meat and dairy must be kept in different areas in the fridge. Remember, meat and dairy can't mix within 6 hours. Also, the oven is to be used for either meat or dairy dishes. For these reasons, some Jewish families own 2 ovens and have 2 separate food preparation areas. Remember the example with the pizza. Your job is to see if you can plan a menu for a Jewish family. See if you can stick to the kosher rules that we've talked about. Enjoy your challenge.